Hallais!
Hello!
Oi, skaper jeg problemer hvis jeg ikke har in-ears? Burde jeg ha det, kanskje?
Nei, trenger ikke.
Så fint.
Ok, så jeg sa at vi skulle gjøre det på engelsk.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Is that cool that we do English?
Of course. Yeah, sure.
Yay! Hi, everyone. Okay, so we see people are coming in. We are loving it. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. Finally, I've joined the finals crew with you guys.
As you deserve, and so you should.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a battle. Okay, so I have a lot of questions that's come in. So I'm just thinking maybe we should just um start from the top and then we can just you can just yeah, let it go from there.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Okay, so I
I've
do
never done
have
one of these, so yeah.
really, is this the first one?
It's my first one. Yeah.
Woohoo! I am honored. I am so honored.
Your English
Okay.
is so good. Have you spent time abroad?
Like I've been in studios and stuff in the US, but I think it's more of like the Fresh Prince, The Simpsons area when I was younger. That kind of,
I know, right? Like
get
watching
yeah,
television in Norway, we don't have the
yeah,
dubbing thing for a lot of it. So
exactly.
when I went to high school in the U.S., people asked
Oh,
me if
you
I was from
did? That's so cool.
California
Really?
because I learned English from watching all the films and the series and stuff. Yeah.
But that's funny because I actually thought the first time I heard A1, which is like this is so cool to me that I'm talking to you right now. And I also told my mom, she was like, "Oh my God, are you serious?" Okay, so I remember like finding out you're Norwegian, and I was like, "What? He's Norwegian? Yay!" Like things can happen from this little country as well. Because I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah, because I was a teenager and I remember like you didn't really see you had like a few like you had AHA and stuff like that, but they're much older than me. So the fact that we had like these icons from here, I was just like I was so happy and surprised and like, yes, we can make it, you know? So just so you know, you have had an impact.
No, thank you. Thank you for
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
that. That means a lot. Well, like we all had, like growing up, seeing that people, like you said, can make it from our country or from our place. Like um, I'm living proof that your dream is possible.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
anything can happen. If this little kid from Sigurd
Yeah.
can be on, posters of girls on the other side of the
Yeah.
planet, anything's possible.
I
So,
totally agree. I totally agree.
yeah.
A1 is just the best, Frida. Yeah, I know. I agree with you guys. Okay, so let's start with some questions. So you do have I was like, this is really cool. Someone's saying, looking forward to the UK tour in September. We'll see you in Manchester. What can we expect from the tour?
Oh, we're so excited about that too, and we're trying to plan everything. And we're just so sorry that everything's been moved around and changed so much because of the Rona.
Yeah, because of the
Um,
Rona.
yes. Well, we're just about to reopen, and so we're planning now on how everything's going to turn. How we're going to do everything. Because to be honest, we've just been waiting to see what happens before
Yeah,
we start planning too much and
yeah.
have to cancel again or something like
Hmm.
that. So
Yeah.
we're gonna. The first good news I want to say is that we just received confirmation that the A1 concert in Vulcan Arena in Oslo in February, the
Woo.
week after the MGP final, is going ahead.
No way. Are you serious?
Yes. So, and
Oh
there
my God,
still
that's so
are a
cool.
few tickets left. So if you're, there's still a chance to
Yeah,
get some very few tickets for that
yeah.
concert left, and it's going to be a fun one because we haven't done a gig in so long, especially in like
Wow.
Norway. But in the
That would be
UK,
so cool.
yeah, and in the UK as well, we're going to have, we're just going to have blast, don't we? Going
Hmm.
out again, having
Yes.
concerts again,
Yeah,
playing,
yeah.
meeting everyone again. Can't wait.
I mean, that's so cool. I'm kind of like in the beginning phase of like I've been doing this for a while, but I haven't like toured. I've had like festival concerts and stuff like that, but I haven't like had a tour yet. So I'm really looking forward to that part whenever that comes because it seems
Yeah.
like so much fun
But
to
let me ask
just
you a question first
yeah.
before we start, because I know that you've had quite a few hits on P3. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that's congratulations,
Thank
first of all.
you.
That's amazing. And
Thank you.
and like 5 A-list songs or something like that. Did I
Yeah.
hear?
How did you know all this? Like, I'm
Well, you know,
so
I'm not. I might be older than you. I'm not that old. I pay attention.
Yeah, you
Uh,
pay attention. That's amazing. No,
so
yeah, definitely. I mean, it's funny because all of those songs that I made with my boyfriend who also produced Dangerous with the other writers, and it's kind of funny because those songs we made them together, only the two of us, and it was kind of that year where we had a lot of plans and nothing happened because it was Corona, right? So we were just really uh of one of the most like quiet years. It was like one of the most successful years in our lives. So it was kind of a yeah, funny thing, like a paradox. But it was definitely funny. But I really want to get out of Norway as well, like see the
that was
world
going to
and
be my question.
yeah.
When can we hear you in the UK, and when are you going to branch out to other
Oh,
countries?
I mean, whenever they want me to come, I'm there. So I've been kind of I think this is a great stepping stone for me to kind of just show my face to other people and just yeah, show what I have. And also I think this is just like one song in the MGP, and also I have a lot of things prepared for the time being after because you don't know how it's gonna go. Like I'm preparing for the worst. So so hopefully I don't know. You know, it's hard to say, but
Yeah.
hopefully this year I can start showing my face somewhere.
Well, of course, if you get to represent Norway, then that's a big door opener to a lot of countries.
That's
Um,
actually a question for you as well here.
yeah.
Have you been in MGP or Eurovision before? Someone asks here.
Okay. So yes, I've been to MGP once as an artist, as part of A1 in 2010. We were the
So cool.
runner-up after Didrik Solitangen, who won that year.
Mm, yes.
And I've written songs for several artists. I've written 3 number twos in Norway, and one number one. Won it with Ulrikke.
Yes, Attention.
Attention.
That's such a great
Yeah, a
song.
couple of years back. But
Mm.
then Eurovision was cancelled, so I've not
Ugh.
been in the Eurovision yet. So that's a
Yeah.
big dream.
Well,
Yeah,
I wish that you get the experience.
thank you. And I
Yeah.
well, that's the thing. Like I said to Ulrike, and I said to everyone, as we start writing songs for MGP,
Mm.
I always try to start. Let's not try to write the winning song for MGP,
Yeah.
because
Yep.
um, the you never know what's going to be the competition. You never know,
True.
what kind of song the audience will vote for that year. But let's try to write a song that shows off your talent
I
to
agree.
this amazing audience that you get platform, amazing platform MGP is, and
Mm-hmm.
Eurovision is, of course, if you get there. And then,
Yeah.
so if we can show your talent off and your song and your music and the way you want to be perceived on the road ahead for your career, that's goal number one. And then if we win it, that's a great bonus.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Especially now, like I think I've always seen Eurovision as like this big stage, and a lot of people gonna know who you are. But I think now with also like how social media is and technology, and you see how Måneskin did last year, like Jimmy Fallon and SNL, all those things, I didn't really, it wasn't that direct connection before. And now it's just like it's more and more people are seeing it for what it is, and that is a celebration of music, and that's just wonderful.
mm.
So I love that. Let me just ask you a few questions so people don't
Sure,
get angry with me.
okay,
Uh, let me see here. Okay, so what are some of your best lyrics that you ever written?
huh?
Good question.
That's a good question. I mean, like I always considered myself first and foremost a melody guy. And
Yeah.
so I've always teamed up with people who are better at writing lyrics than me,
Smart.
to complete those. But then I've learned so much along the way writing with all these brilliant writers. You know, it's like
Mm.
playing chess. You should always play against someone better than you. That's how
Mm-hmm.
you learn and you become better. And I've always liked writing with, some great, writers like Michael Oakes in Nashville, who
Ooh,
co-wrote
nice.
co-wrote "Wonder of the World," which is my MGP song.
I love that song.
Thank you. And we've become
Mm.
dear friends now. But
Mm.
in the last few songwriting camps I've been to, it's so funny that I've suddenly become the lyric guy in a lot of the groups. and that
It's
makes me really
changed now.
proud.
Yeah.
So I've evolved, I've developed, and I think you can learn to write lyrics, and you can if you work hard. And remember, when I was growing up, I listened to Bruce Springsteen a lot, who was my big hero, and I
Hmm.
read all about him, and I read studied his lyrics, and I read that he studied Bob Dylan's lyrics,
There you
trying to
go.
become a better lyricist and a better songwriter. And
Yeah.
so I've written a few songs that I'm very proud of. One of my favorite songs that I wrote actually with a dear friend of mine called Gert Doimåsen. I
Hmm.
wrote it for him, but I ended up recording it for myself because I loved it so much.
You're like, you're not getting
Um,
this one.
yeah, and that's a song called Det jeg har gitt fra meg.
Hmm.
It means given, what I've given
Away. Yeah.
away.
Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm.
So it was it's a song about not like I can't take anything with me the day that I leave this life or this planet, this world.
Hmm.
But
We're
what
getting
I
a we are getting A1 official wants to join the video.
oh cool yeah,
Should
absolutely
we accept?
we
Oh,
can
no, no,
indeed.
it's gone.
Oh, it's
It
gone.
went it
I
went away.
don't worry about that one.
Okay.
But yeah, so basically the song is very personal. We were talking about how the day that we leave this world, a lot of the things that we, especially for me, that I've worked the hardest, like on my career,
I
money. Who we got with us?
I don't know who this is.
But yeah, so basically the song is very personal. We were talking about. Oh, we can hear the day that we
What is happening?
leave the world. I don't know. I don't know.
This is your band,
Especially for
just so
me,
you know.
I think it's the girl who runs our who helps us run the social
Okay,
media.
so
So
okay, so she needs to like go. I think she
mute
needs. Yeah, I think she needs to
or just
mute
log off.
or just.
It's just me and Farida today. But anyway, so yeah, so
Anyways, yeah.
the song is about how when we leave this world, I think we're going to think back on not the day that we had a #1 record or
Exactly.
made a lot of money. We're going to think about the people we love, the people in our
Yeah,
lives that we care about,
I think so too.
and I think what we get to bring with us to the afterlife is what we left behind,
Hmm.
mostly of love
Yeah,
and friendship, but also when we are generous and when we give to others and help others, lay down our lives for others.
hmm,
That's when life becomes really valuable. And the other
yes.
song I'd say, an English song that maybe the fans will remember, is a song called "Learn to Fly," which I'm very proud of. I wanted to write an English-speaking version of the Norwegian song called "Du skal få en dag i morgen,"
I love that song.
because I think it's such a beautiful message. I've always looked at life, like especially when life is a little bit hard and there are challenges, and I've had my ups and downs in life,
Yeah,
and went through times when maybe I felt down, and but I always looked at life like a story, like a book.
yeah,
And there are no great stories that start out with the main character winning the lottery,
no,
then finding the love of their lives, and then they
hmm,
live happily ever after. That's a really
yeah.
boring story, right?
That's so boring. Yeah,
The best stories have bad guys in it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And maybe it looks like it might not end well
Yeah,
until the last chapter
yeah, yeah,
of the book.
yeah.
So if I stop reading the book halfway through, I might miss out on the best part of the whole story.
Hmm.
If I keep
True.
reading, if I keep turning the pages in the story of my life, and I get to the next chapter,
Mm.
I might win the lottery there, and I don't want to
Yeah,
miss
yeah,
out on
yeah.
that. So I don't want to
That's
give
true.
up, and that's how when I wrote "Learn to Fly," that became a powerful song for myself, and it was actually picked up by I guess the Australian Gert Doimåsen, the runner-up in the first Idol in
Okay.
Australia, and it became
Ooh.
a huge #1 hit for him, and
Oh, that's
both in the
amazing.
singles charts, album charts, radio art charts, and all that stuff. And then he got picked up in a documentary about young people who commit suicide, and
Okay.
and the song was in the documentary, and then I started getting letters from quite a few different letters from different countries in the South Asian region and also
Mm.
Australia. People noticed that I've written the song and they wanted to thank me because it helped them through a difficult time. And that's the
That's
best compliment you can
yeah.
get as a writer. You know, you've
Hmm.
written something that mattered in someone's lives.
Yep. That's amazing. And I feel like that you probably have like a lot of experience with that as well. Like people are responding to you even when like you had these the boy band days when people are like this means so much to me and like from all over the place. So how did you like go from being in a boy band to like how do you do something on your own after being in a group? Were you by yourself first or how was it?
Yeah, so I moved home to Norway. That was the first step.
Yeah.
And after a while, you know, I had all these songs. So when you're in a band, it's a great thing because you're kind of stronger together in a way. You write songs you wouldn't normally write because
Mm.
you make each other better. But there are also those songs that are very personal that don't make it into that sort of formula that you have together.
Yeah.
And so I had a lot of songs that I wanted to get off my chest and I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
record, and so I did, and I got a deal with Universal Records in Norway, and then that sort of started my solo career. And I also wrote a few songs for artists like Maria Redondo.
Oh, I love her. I listen to
Yeah,
her a
and
lot.
so I had my a couple of number one records as a solo artist, and then that sort of started the whole solo career. But that
Mm.
also, once I moved home, I kind of stayed in Scandinavia and
Yeah.
in Norway. So I never really branched out, unfortunately. But then suddenly A1 returned into my life, and we had a great
Mm.
time. I was actually doing Allsang på grensen
Ooh,
um,
nice.
a couple of years in a row, and then the guy who was booking artists, he was like, "What are the chances we could get, you know, A1 on the show?" It's like, I don't know. I don't think they'd do it. Well, can you
Yeah.
ask him? I was like, okay, so I'll call him. And I called the boys, and they said yes. And so we went. So we met, and we did the first performance together in like 8 years or something. We did
Wow.
um, um,
When was this?
7 years.
Which year?
This was right just before the Eurovision 2010. Because what happened was
Yeah.
that Universal was backstage
Mm.
um, offering us a deal, basically.
You don't really
We're like,
have
yeah,
to.
can we do something new again? And we did. And then the Universal's bright idea was to enter us in the MGP.
Hmm.
And
That's so cool.
it was a good idea. We did 70 concerts in Norway after that.
Wow.
Um, that
And
yeah,
Norway, like
in
it's a
Norway, yeah,
small country, guys.
yeah.
It's
And then
yeah.
we did, and then we started out in Asia again. Went to there was a question of when will you be back in the Philippines? We
Yeah.
wait to go back, and we have plans in the
Hmm.
making of coming back because we were supposed to be there last year,
Yeah.
but Corona stopped that as
Yeah.
well. So as soon as
So
it's
much
sort
to
of
look forward to.
yeah, but we've been back to Asia quite a few times since then, and also in the UK. And then we did a TV show in the UK called The Big Reunion,
Yeah.
and that sort of yeah kick-started the whole nostalgia
Hmm.
touring thing.
Yeah.
So we still
I
do. I mean, I think we do on average, like 40 or 50 gigs a year together,
That's amazing.
and then I do about 80 or 90 gigs on my own. So
Wow.
I have
You
busy
have it all filled up. Like you get best of both worlds.
best of both worlds because I do
Yeah.
enjoy that. I enjoy
Mm.
doing my music. Like last year, I recorded my first album in Norwegian,
Oh
and
yeah.
so it's
Awesome.
nice to tour with that. And I have all those songs that has a slightly different audience. I'd say
Mm.
more adult audience maybe, but then
Yep.
I also have the A1 audience and the reminiscing and the and it's as much fun for us, you know, looking back and reminiscing our youth as it is for our fans.
Yeah.
So we enjoy
Yeah,
that a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah, but it's funny because you have this like you kind of get to do things that people really want to do in a lifetime as an artist. Like you get to be a part of something big and international. At the same time, you get to do like your own thing. So it's kind of the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
And
and I
that's
got to
the
say, like a little a little tip for you as well as you're
Yeah.
starting out in your career. I mean, you've already started, but
No, but I feel like I'm always like, I feel like I'm starting like new every year just because I don't know, I
well,
have that
yeah.
mentality because I want to like, okay, so I'm a new artist this year as well. Like that, I
That's
really
good.
love
That's
that.
good. But
Yeah.
you're still sort of new compared to me.
I,
Uh,
yeah.
and so I think what I found for my life anyway is versatility, like being able to do many different things,
Yeah.
is a good thing um, in order to, to do this for the long run.
Right.
And I think a lot of artists there's a lot, especially a lot of managers and music industry people
Yeah.
they have this strategy of as soon as you get like that break, they just crank up the price for the
Yeah.
artist so
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
hardly anyone can book them, and you get to do
Mm,
like I don't know how many gigs a year, but not that many, but you get a
yeah.
ridiculous fee,
Yeah.
and they say no to everything. I remember when I first started having my number one
Mm.
um, singles as a solo artist, the Universal would say no to. I had to, because I was doing a program called Julemorgen
Oh, I
on
remember that.
NRK. It was like Christmas Eve
Yeah,
in the
it's so
morning. It
nice.
was like,
Yeah.
so I did that every year. I was like a regular guest, and then Universal said, no, 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 you can't do that now because you're too big artist now. You can't do that. And they said no, and they ruined that for me because that was a
Yeah.
great thing for me to do.
Yep.
And I think you can't get a better audience than all the kids and the youth
Yep.
and the whole nation on
Yep.
Saturday on the Christmas morning. Anyway,
No, but I
so when
agree.
they start saying no to all these things, you become sort of unattainable, and but that only lasts so long. Take
Yeah.
it from me, who's been in the business for so
Yeah.
long. No one's up there, their whole careers. Like some
No.
people are, I guess, like Elton John, and
Yeah.
you have some of the huge artists. But think about how many artists
Mm.
that come out every year, and
Yeah.
how many Elton Johns are there? Very, very,
Yeah.
very few. So the
Yeah.
majority of artists, I've been around in this business
Mm.
for coming up to 25 years.
Yeah. That's
Coming up to
amazing.
25 years. So I've seen so many artists come and go. And
Yeah.
I've seen
Yep.
so many big artists, sort of medium artists come up,
Yeah.
and they have their nose in the air, and they look down on me and us, and
Mm.
and and I've experienced those crazy stuff. People get such big
Yeah.
egos, and then
Yeah.
I've seen
No.
them come crashing down.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Guess who's
That's the
still
thing.
around?
Yep. Yep.
We're still around, and I think it's to
Yeah.
do with the fact that don't get big-headed. You
No.
know, keep saying yes to stuff.
I
Keep being
agree.
versatile, doing loads
I
of stuff.
agree.
Yeah,
I
and
agree.
it's so much more rewarding as well. Like, so I do, like, the way I make a living is I want to do many gigs because I love
Yeah.
doing gigs. So
Yeah.
I've set my price to. I mean, of course, it's expensive.
Yeah.
Some people will find it expensive, but I know compared to a lot of the other artists, or compared to what I guess I could charge, I'm
Hmm.
a fairly reasonable artist. But I
Yeah.
get to do more gigs. I get to do what I love. I do dubbing of cartoons and
You
movies.
do? Oh,
I
that's so cool.
do a bit of acting. I've done
Yeah.
Les Mis in the theater.
Oh,
I produce
nice.
and write for other artists.
Yeah.
I do a bit of teaching, songwriting. I do all these
So,
things that together combined just makes life very interesting. And also sometimes that job will pay the bills, and other times that will pay the bills. You know what I mean?
I think so too, and I also feel like you have to kind of you don't wear the same socks every day. I mean, maybe I do it twice, but I don't do it every day. And I feel like you kind of have to ex see what you are. Like you have different colors, you have different talents that you haven't explored, and also, I mean, it's boring to kind of be you're this like creative person, and you're not supposed to be creative in different ways. You're supposed to be in one way. That doesn't sound right. And I also feel like the thing that you say about uh, don't get like on your high horse and stuff. I think it's so important because I feel like I remember like even being here in MGP for me has been like I didn't know that I would fit in to this like concept just because of what I've seen before. Maybe it hasn't been like something that I thought that would fit my type of music or like my artistry. But now I feel like the first thing that Stig, the NRK MGP guy, told me was like, be yourself, and that was really appealing to me because I feel like that is our strength as artists, that we are different, and that is the strength of the people in the MGP as well. Like, it's not really, I mean, it's not really anything to be competitive about, and I feel like we're just gonna be who we are. We're not gonna try to be everyone else in this competition, for example. So it's a waste of time, you know, to just stay in like one place. And I'm really for that, and I'm really up to always experimenting and like, what should I do now? I used to be an R&B artist, like totally only R&B, and I was like, but my voice really want to do more things, you know? So then I did some pop songs, and then I've done some ballads, and now I did a ballad. But I am so with you on that, like
Yeah.
just always experiencing and developing.
And I love that you do that. And there's another thing, especially in Norway, more so in many of the other countries that I've been to. There's what I call genre snobbery. You
Yeah.
know, that people, you know, they think they're such snobs with their genres. Like all other
Yeah.
music than this, what I like, is
Exactly.
shit. Like, no,
Yes.
it's not. It's
It's
there's
not.
amazing variety of music out there, and if you don't get that, you're losing out on so many great things. I
Yeah.
listen to when I'm in the car, you know, I listen to classical music, I listen to R&B, I listen to country
Yeah.
music, I listen to pop music, I listen to jazz music. I
Yeah.
mean, I think it's such, and that's what I love about MGP as well, is that there is a variety of music, and there's so much love behind the scenes between all the
Hmm.
other artists, because
Yeah.
we understand that yes, it's a competition, but everyone's sort of in the same boat. We're here to do, like you said, what we do, our
Yeah.
genre, the music we love, and
Exactly.
everyone knows that it's a fragile, vulnerable thing because people are out there, net trolls everywhere. There are
Yeah.
journalists who, quite frankly, are not qualified to throw
To
the
judge.
dice that they do because they
Yeah.
don't. They have no qualification when it comes to writing music, and a lot of them only like that one genre, and everything else is shit.
True.
You know, um,
It's like a
it's it's
taste thing.
yeah, it's a very fragile situation to be in for everyone.
Mm. Yeah.
But what I've seen, especially this year, is how much love there is between all the artists, and I love the fact that MGP and Eurovision displays such a great variety of music.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. And also, with the ballads that we have this year, I do feel like they're different. Like they're not the same. So I am not really worried about those things because I know people have been like, "Oh, but there's so many ballads this year." It's not really like you have like trap drums or something like in your ballad. It's like something really dope. Like it's not it's not the
I
same.
tried to make it less ballady.
Yeah, it was yeah, but I love it. I love it. I'm
Yeah,
just
there,
gonna
there are a
take a
few.
few questions
Yeah,
just because people are like writing here. Let me just
great.
how do you feel about the wild card round is one here?
I think it's a good idea. I think so. I mean, at least it gives some sort of hope. It's such a brutal thing for
Yes.
the artists who get voted out, especially in the first round of the semis. You know,
Yeah.
you built up this enormous, you know, expectation and
Mm.
the nerves and all the stuff that comes with it, and then boom, oh, you're
Yep.
out.
Yep.
But at least there's
Bye.
hope. There's
Yeah.
still a chance. So it sort of takes the edge up a little bit off that. And I
Yeah.
think last year, remember the rocker dude who,
Jorn?
um, yes, Jörn, he
Yes.
was out, voted in, ended up
Yeah.
in the gold final.
Yeah.
So it can happen. I mean,
Yeah.
anything can happen in
Yeah.
MGP.
At MGP. I mean, this is it's so cool because I'm really excited to see who the next two people who's going to join us in the finals are, and then it's going to just be like a fun day, I think. I'm just gonna enjoy it. I don't want to like look back and be like, oh, everyone was so competitive and everyone was just like, oh, blowing in their bottle and couldn't like talk to each other. I just want to have a good time, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's gonna be. I mean, it's a great opportunity too to like, for me especially. I mean, you're a known person, so to me it's just to be able to show my face and the fact that people want to listen and write messages like, this is crazy. I've never been drawn before. Like people drew my face and I was like, what? So it's like it's just a weird experience for me. But I'm really loving this like community. I didn't know it existed. Like I've been living under a rock. I knew it was big, but I didn't know it was this big. So
It is huge.
it is
It
huge.
really is. Like I've
Yeah.
done interviews from Mexico to Portugal
Yeah,
to all around the world, and
it's crazy.
we're not even in the final yet. So
Yeah, I know. And also like the fact that people know about the semifinals in Norway, I'm like,
yeah,
why would you care? Like it's in the north. It's like 5 million people here. Nobody cares, but it's so cool.
yeah. Well, it's a testament to Stig Carlson and the team and NRK and what they've done and what they've built over the
Yeah.
last 10, 12 years. Because when we joined with A1 in 2010, there was still quite a lot of stigma attached to the competition. And
Right.
it was a really, really big deal for us. Should we say yes to this or should we say no? Because we were kind of hoping we wouldn't win. To be honest, we were
Yeah.
amongst ourselves. We were hoping we'd be number two because we
Really?
knew the moment if we won,
Yeah.
it would be known throughout the world that we represented Norway in the Eurovision, and it was
Yeah.
still a bit of stigma attached to that,
Yeah.
especially in the UK.
Yeah. I
So
believe
in
that.
our minds, it was the best possible outcome. We were
Yeah.
number two.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
kickstarted everything again. We didn't have to be MGP or Eurovision A1.
Yeah, but
Um,
I don't think, I mean, you say that, but I don't think you would ever be that label because you had that crazy career from before. So this
yeah.
was just kind of something cool for you guys to go into and like be a part of so that I don't think that you would have to worry about
Well,
that.
now I think that, and I think it's changed. A lot has changed the
Yeah,
last 10 years because
true.
every year you get more and more established artists
Mm-hmm.
performing it, and even if they don't win, they
Yeah.
turn out okay.
Yep.
Their career is still. It's a bit like someone told me about Coca-Cola
Yeah.
and how they advertise,
Yeah.
and you don't remember when you saw the last Coca-Cola ad, but they
True.
spend millions on ads every
Yeah.
year, and it's just here's the thing. If you haven't been on TV or if you haven't done, the big things in about half a year, people come up to you and ask, "Oh, so you're still doing music?
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
now?" They're
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
like the world moves so fast, so you
Yep.
have to keep reminding people that you're there.
Yeah.
And the only show left now that Allsang på gränsen is going to be shut down as well.
Yeah, I
I think
heard. I
there's like
heard.
one show left on TV where
So like
artists
Lin
can
Moon?
do, yeah, where artists can do what they do,
Yeah.
their own music, and that's MGP. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're gonna
Yeah.
have to do
Yeah.
on TV.
Yeah.
You have to cook, you have to
Yeah.
drive cars, you have to dance, you have to go
Yes.
back to the 19th century,
Yeah.
or you have to sing someone else's songs,
Yeah.
or in another genre that you don't normally operate in.
Yeah.
So, like, it was one of the few platforms I thought, well, I can just do my new single, and at least I get to show it off to a
Exactly.
lot more people, and that's so
Exactly.
valuable for us as artists, as you.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like this is it's like positive noise, you know? That's how I feel about it. And it's to me especially since I'm kind of I've like been in this for a while but only had like attention from like blogs and stuff outside of Norway and haven't really been showing my face here. So to me it's like new. It's just it feels like I'm born again as an artist and I love that. I love that feeling.
It's the same
So
old brand new you.
yes. Oh, one of my favorite songs, by the way. But I gotta tell you, there's someone who actually said, "What do you think of Mark's rock version of Same Old Brand New You?"
I thought it was really good fun. I thought if you haven't checked it out, go check it out.
I
It's
need to.
same old brand new. Mark Reed. He's done a metal version of the song.
What?
Yeah,
Metal? That's so dope.
and
That
again,
would.
I mean like a great song can be recorded in many genres.
Yep. True.
And I'm just saying it's a great song because I wrote it. But we, I think any good melody, like I love actually listen to the. I was in a bossa nova band when I went
Really?
to school. We had
What?
Girl from Ipanema, that kind of music, and we were busk on the streets of Copenhagen and Oslo and stuff, and
Wow.
we even released a record, and it was really really good fun, and so I love bossa nova, and
Wow.
so my guilty pleasure is I listen to. You can find all these playlists on Spotify with bossa versions of big hits. So
That's
you'll
cool.
get like the bossa nova version of Billie Jean, or Britney Spears songs. Like I love that how you can just do
I
great
agree.
songs in
Yeah.
different genres. It's so much. It's
Yeah,
very playful. When we
I
had
agree.
there's a little uh, I guess guilty pleasure of A1 on sound checks. We played our songs quite a few times over these past 25 years.
Yeah.
So um, uh, for fun, we will most times we'll play songs like Caught in the Middle and Every Time in the style of
Yeah.
reggae.
I love that song. That's such a good song. Did you
Yeah.
guys write like with the producers and stuff back then, or did you have like, was it like the NSYNC and Backstreet Boys where you had like the songs ready, or did you come with like, no, we need to change this, or
Sometimes, I mean, we did the majority of songs we wrote on our own.
ooh,
Yeah,
nice.
but then we also wrote with producers. Like Same
Yeah.
Old Brand New You, we wrote with Eric Foster White in New York.
Nice.
Saying that, he was in the room when we started, and then he left and came back when we finished writing the song. But he made that production, you
Yeah.
know, and the production made the song in many ways. So
Yeah.
he was definitely part of that.
Yeah, see, it
No,
was a collaboration because you guys are songwriters right from the beginning, so it
yeah,
made
I mean that
sense.
was the whole idea behind A1 was the manager who put us together. The managers, I will say, it was a team called Burn Blood,
Hmm.
Vicky Blood and Tim Byrne. Who,
Sounds like managers.
it was a scary name, Burn Blood
Yeah.
Productions. I was like,
Burn blood.
whoa,
Wow.
scary. But they had a vision of making the ultimate boy band, where
Okay.
instead of being dancers and models learning how to sing, which some of our
Yeah.
colleagues were.
Hmm.
They wanted to put together a band of songwriters and musicians who learned how to dance. And we never quite mastered that skill, but yeah, so we
I think
started
you
writing
did.
songs, and and sometimes we would write with producers and stuff like that, because the only way you would get a big producer to produce you was if they could get a cut of the publishing.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it was
exactly.
all, but some of them were great. Like we wrote some of the first singles with Peter Cunha, who was
Mm.
in a pop group called D-Ream.
Okay.
Today, most people will remember the keyboard player in D-Ream, Professor Brian Cox, who's got all the
Okay.
BBC series Wonders of the Universe and those things. He went on to
Okay.
be a professor of theoretical physics after the band, which is pretty cool.
Wow. That's
But
pretty cool.
but Peter Cunha was a clever guy too, and he helped us write, some of the very first songs that we did. But a lot
Awesome.
of times, we'd write the songs either around Mark's house or around Ben's house, or
Mm.
we'd spend a lot of time writing together, and that was the whole. I studied songwriting at LIPA.
Oh,
The
you did?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
cool.
so to me that was kind of the criteria for joining the group.
Yeah.
I didn't even
Yeah,
know what.
how did you join the group? Like what happened?
Yeah, so the managers fairly quickly realized they wouldn't get songwriters and musicians to go to auditions for a boy band. So they started looking around at performing arts schools. And so my songwriting teacher recommended me, and he sent me an email saying, if you want to be in a boy band, this could be your big break.
Awesome.
And I turned to my friend. I was like, "Hey, what's a boy band?" I didn't know. I honestly didn't know. And he was like, "Well, it's like the Backstreet Boys." I was like, "Who?"
Yeah, you know NSYNC.
And he said, "I didn't know the Backstreet Boys either." But he said, but he mentioned one of their songs that I'd heard on the radio called "Quit Playing Games with My Heart," which I thought was
Yeah.
a really good pop song. It's like, "Yeah, I can do that. That's
Yep.
cool." And so I sort of, luckily, because I was young and inexperienced, I looked at the whole meeting this management stuff like as a foot in the door of the record industry.
Yeah, yeah,
and
of course.
I didn't really think it was going to be, a success. So I just said in that first meeting, it's like, okay, I'll join your band, but only if I get to write the songs and I get to,
Yep.
and so I was kind of cocky.
Someone's asking you, by the way, did you ever meet the Backstreet Boys?
Yeah, I think we did. I mean, we did,
Ooh,
at least I remember touring. We did some touring in the US. Caught in the Middle was a bit of a college radio hit there.
yeah.
And we did a few gigs. We did actually, we did a tour with Joey Fatone from
Really?
NSYNC as well.
Wow, that's so
Um,
cool.
here's a funny story. So the high school I went to in Kentucky, where I lived in Lexington, Kentucky,
Wow.
uh, when I when I graduated high school and I was going home to Norway, my choir director came up to me and said, "Hey, Christian, I want to just tell you what I told Brian last year. You have a future in music, and if you ever need anything, I'm here for you." And he gave me a lot of sheet music. His name is Brian Turner. He just passed away last year, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wonderful, brilliant man.
Mm.
And I didn't know who this Brian was until later. I found out that was Brian from the Backstreet Boys, who was in
Wow.
my high school choir the year before me. So we went to the
What?
same high school, and I realized Tate's Creek High School Choir sings on one of the Backstreet Boys albums, which is pretty awesome.
What?
But
That's
I mean, it was a
crazy.
phenomenal choir. The first day
Wow.
I went into the choir because I changed high schools I lived in another city first, and I came sort of mid-year to the Tate's Creek High School Choir. I was blown away. I had
Yeah.
never heard anything like it. It was like
No.
it was it was a different league to like Oslo Gospel Choir or anyone that I've ever heard.
Mm. Yeah.
A high school choir, and I couldn't believe it. Like, what's
They're
going
so
on here?
talented though. They put in so much time, it feels
Yeah,
like.
but then it turned out there was a rich music tradition in that high school, and then I became part of the select team, and we were competing because in America they have competitions and national and
Yeah.
state and finals and stuff like that for all kinds of things, and so
Yes, I've
we
seen it in like cheerleading.
yeah, and it was all like with capes and movements and like all
Yeah.
the stuff you see in movies. It's amazing. And we were voted the fourth best choir in America.
Wow.
And the three other schools that won over us, they were performing arts schools, and we were just normal high school. So it was literally
Wow.
the best high school choir in America.
That's crazy.
Much thanks to Brian Turner, who was just this brilliant
Wow.
director, and it was such incredible detail, attention to detail with the dynamics.
Mm.
And I learned so much. And there is another fun fact is that I don't know if you've heard of barbershop choirs.
Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
so there's a rich,
I love that.
vocal harmony tradition in America,
Yep.
going
Mm-hmm.
away all the way back to the start of the last
Yeah.
century, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so I joined the school barbershop choir, and would sing with tuxedos. We would sing, the Star Spangled Banner, Hello Dolly, all these American "Let's Go Out to
Wow.
the Ball Game" with really, really thick, uh, harmonies,
Cool.
two basses, two baritones,
Mm.
and two second tenors, two first tenors. And
Are you a tenor?
I'm a baritone.
You're a baritone.
Yeah.
Of course you are. You
I've
have the
been
low
pushed up
notes.
to the tenor sort of
Yeah,
with
yeah.
three other tenors for
Yeah.
20 years. So I sing higher than most baritones, I guess. I've been forced to. But
That's
so
cool.
we were put together with these senior citizens, like old school barbershop, like
Mm.
the real thing
The
from way
OGs, yeah.
back. Yeah, 80-year-old guys who've been singing, their whole
Wow.
lives, and they
Best
were our
ones.
mentors.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know then, obviously, this was the most amazing school for being in a boy band.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's
Because
so
when we
cool.
started out, we wanted to be like, like the vocal harmony groups of the 90s, like Boys to Men
Yeah,
and Take Six, and those sort
so
of,
good.
yeah. So
Yeah.
so that was the tradition we were kind of going for. And
Mm-hmm.
so on the very first album we did, um, uh, there's a complete a cappella song that we wrote in that sort of style.
Wow.
So the first "Here We Come Out," take a listen to the first track on that song. You'll hear that
You're
barbershop
like
tradition.
all over, like bossa nova and like pop and everything is like in. Oh, that's so cool. I have a question though. So how did you end up in the UK, like the US? Why did you go to Kentucky, Lexington?
So I'm the son of I'm a third generation musician. My
Hmm.
grandfather was a violinist in the Chicago Symphony Orchestra back in the 20s and 30s.
Wow.
So he lived there for 17 years before moving back to Norway, and
Wow.
he got my dad. And my dad is a singer as well. And in
Yep.
fact, he was one of the biggest pop stars in Norway all throughout
Hmm.
the 70s.
Yeah, that's so, I know who
Um,
he is. So
yeah,
cool.
you know, our parents will know my dad. He's actually sold 1.3 million physical albums in Norway.
In
Uh,
Norway,
at
that's
a time when there
crazy.
was 4 million people in the country. So it was really,
Wow.
really big. And so but I grew up, you know, with my dad. He sang in Norwegian most of the time, although he has recorded in German and in Italian and English, of course. But his career was mainly in Norway. And so I grew up wanting to be like my dad, but I was very early on, I realized that if I'm going to be able to write songs that connects to an international audience, I'm going to have to learn how to speak English properly, and not just from the movies. I'm going to have to live like, because when you write songs, you quite early on you figure out that it's not enough to just know grammatically how to write lyrics and meaning,
No, no, you
because
have to understand
yeah, there are certain
what,
things
yeah.
you just have to live there and be part of the
Yep.
culture to understand. Like,
Yeah.
and even now, after living over 10 years in English speaking countries,
Yeah.
occasionally I'll write songs that, you know, is up for, you know, to pitch for an artist, and you get the feedback, yeah, you know, nothing wrong with lyrics, but, you know, a 19-year-old girl in Texas just wouldn't say that.
She wouldn't say that.
You
No,
know, in New
exactly.
York, they might. You
Yeah.
know, like it's that you have to really live
Yeah.
there to know that you would, you know, like the
Yeah.
way you
Yeah. Yeah.
express
Yeah.
yourself. And so to me, I
True.
made quite an early, I was determined to live in America. That's where I wanted to
Yeah.
go.
Mm.
And so I signed up to be an exchange student, hoping to
Right.
go to Florida or California or
Yeah.
somewhere I heard of, and ended up in Kentucky. Uh,
Kentucky.
and
Kentucky Fried
I
Chicken.
was quite disappointed, but then looking back, it was the best thing that could happen to me. First of all, the high school, the family I ended up with, living in, and the friends that I got.
Mm.
It was the best year of my life, and it gave me
Yeah,
so
they
much
were nice.
confidence. And yeah, and also I got a fresh start from, you know, I've been open with the fact that I was a bit bullied growing up
Right.
in ungdomsskolen and stuff like that. So I wanted to
Yeah.
get out of here. I wanted to go
Yep.
away from Norway.
Yeah.
And in Kentucky, I got a fresh start because no one knew I was
Who you were, like,
I
yeah.
was the stupid guy. I was just,
Yeah.
I had fresh, you know, I had a fresh start.
Yep.
And
You could
so,
be like the other like because we have different types of sides of ourselves. You could be yourself, like, and
yeah,
nobody would know, and you could introduce yourself all over.
yeah.
That's great.
And also another great thing I think about the Americans is that they really, truly encourage people to try to succeed with their talents,
Yeah,
and they want
I
you to
agree.
succeed. It's not like
Yeah.
it's not. In Norway, we might sometimes think they're fake. You know, all
Mm-hmm.
this such fake. No, it's not. They actually
No.
truly
Yeah.
love it if you succeed because
Mm-hmm.
that means they can do it too.
Yeah.
You know, it's the American dream kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they really truly root for it. So when they discovered that I had a talent, you know, they were really rooting for. Oh, we can't wait to see you on the silver screen, because back then I was doing a lot of acting,
Oh yeah, that's
and I was
cool.
doing musical, high school musical, that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
And so it gave me so much confidence in myself, and the fact that maybe I can actually make it, maybe as a singer. And it was the first time I sang in front of an audience, you know, as a solo artist was in high school at a talent show, and it gave me enough confidence to go for it and try to make it. I think without that year, I wouldn't be here today.
Yeah. I believe that. I mean, I think the road like unfolds as you go, and I mean, the people who like bullied you when you were younger probably didn't think that you would be in this like hot boy band group and be like all over the place. So, are they like the first people who called you like, "Hey, so how are you?" Or didn't they say anything?
No, I'll tell you this.
Mm.
For my the 10-year anniversary from my high school days in Norway, uh,
Yeah, we have those weird things. Yeah, I
yeah,
remember.
I didn't know if I wanted to go because I was afraid
No.
they would make me feel like I did when I was
Yeah,
younger. And
yeah,
some of my friends didn't go because I was lucky. I had some really dear friends. You know, we're a small
yeah,
group of really good friends, so I wasn't
yeah.
alone. You know, I just
No, but
never
that
felt very
helps.
popular or included.
No,
But
I was the same. I get you.
yeah, so you know
Mm.
what I mean. But then
Yeah.
the great thing happened as you grow up, you realize that everyone wasn't bad people. It
No.
was just very few people had the courage to say, "Hey, what about Christian? We should invite him. We should
Yeah.
include him."
Yeah.
And that's really hard to do when you're in high school. So
Also, I agree. Also, like they're in fact like their parents may be idiots, you know. So if they're
yeah, they just
and
can't help it.
yeah, they can't help it.
No, but some of
So
them are really good guys. They just didn't have,
yeah,
they were going through difficult things at home, like like
exactly.
breakups with their parents or whatever. And
Yeah.
so the first thing that happened at this 10-year anniversary was that some of the guys came up that I remember from back then wasn't the nicest guys. Came up to say,
Mm.
"Hey, Christian, we just wanted to say, we didn't always see eye to eye, but we're so proud of you." And
Yay!
and I was so happy. I was so relieved. Like, yeah, they can't help how they were. They were just
Yeah.
kids.
Yep.
They were just kids, and that was really.
Yeah.
So when I
And
talk
also, I
about
think
bullying today, it's
yeah.
also about, like, um, yeah, like don't, we can't. They were also just kids, and maybe
Mm.
they feel bad today. So
Yeah.
the what we can learn from it is encourage each other to see and truly see the people who are falling out of society, and that's
Yeah.
as grown-ups as well.
Yeah.
If you can't say nice things about it, this is for you journalists and it's for you net trolls out there. If you don't have something nice to say about people,
Don't say
don't
it.
say it.
Don't say it.
And if you have something nice to say about people, say it. And if you see
It's
someone on the outside who's sitting alone in the church
yeah.
bench, or if you have someone is sitting alone
Yeah.
at home, call them. Just say, "Hey, how you doing?"
Yeah.
You never know the ripple effect of that. It could
No,
be
I agree.
tremendous.
Also, like I almost like I understand more of the net trolls than I do media because I feel like they should know better. Because some net trolls they just don't know. They're just like they're on Twitter and they have an egg as a profile picture and they're like if you talk to them in real life they will be like so sorry I didn't mean that. So I feel like yeah I feel the same. Can I take a question because I know people are wanna really interested in
Okay,
this.
cool.
Let me see. So I do have okay, so I have two questions actually. I have several, but I'll do this first. If you go to Eurovision, how would you feel? Just so we have I know there's a lot of MGP people and Eurovision people who want to know.
It would be a dream come true, literally,
Yeah.
because
Mm.
my first time that I got to stay up long enough to watch the Eurovision
Yeah.
to the end, I was eight
Yeah.
years old. It was 1985, and Norway won. And a dream was
Yay!
born that day.
Who won? I wasn't born yet,
Bobby
so who?
Socks with Love
Oh,
Is
that
In,
was
yeah.
Bobby Sacks. That was Bobby Sacks.
Yes.
That's
And
a good song.
my hero, because I had already at that age started writing melodies, and I was
Yeah.
so um, intrigued by the songwriters. Like, where do they come up with these melodies? I was listening to Elton
Mm.
John. I was like
Yeah.
mesmerized by his melodies, and I didn't understand the lyrics because I didn't speak
No.
English that well yet.
No.
And so I was like, where do these melodies come from? So my hero became Rolf Löfland, who'd written the song. And
Ooh, yeah,
a
of
dream was
course.
born. One day I will have written a song that represents Norway in the Eurovision. And
Yeah, you did.
I've tried so many times.
Yeah, we actually did too when you wrote Attention.
Yeah, but then Eurovision was canceled,
I
so I didn't
know.
really. So it was kind of
Yeah.
half. But
You're missing that like one like cherry on top.
so
Yeah.
that would be a lifelong
Amazing.
dream come true if
Yeah.
I got to represent Norway. And
Yeah.
yeah, I hope I can make Norway proud. And
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure you will. Like I see people support you and what they when they talk about the song, and then I think you shouldn't worry about that at all. I think you already made them proud, so you don't have to worry about that.
thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. Okay, so did you know anyone in this MGP before entering? I'm sure, like, just to explain that Norway is really really small, so usually like we know people, but maybe I mean know of, but maybe not know them. So how did you feel? I mean, I didn't know you, but I knew of you, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I know. Like, I met a lot of the artists before here and there, but I
yep,
didn't know them like really well.
yeah,
I
not
think so.
like
I'm just trying to
friends.
think. Who did I know best? I've met. I'm just trying to think who it was. There's so many artists.
I know.
I think I knew Kim Vigor. I've
Yeah,
met him quite a few times,
yeah, he's
and also
coming this
he's the
Saturday.
yes, he's the
Yeah,
choir director for my mom's choir. My mom sings in his choir.
that's so cool.
It's pretty cool, huh? Um, and I've met the is it Eline
Noelia,
Noelia?
maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like my regular place where I always eat my lunch is
Hmm.
Tulin's Cafe in
I
Oslo.
love Toulouse. Yes.
She's a waitress there, so I've seen her
No,
there.
that's so funny.
So there are a few of those.
Yeah,
And
that's
obviously, I met
so
a lot of
cool.
the songwriters behind some of these songs. I know them quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, also like it goes around like I've seen that a lot of people are on these camps as well, and I did go to a camp this year to write for some other people first. So it was kind of funny. The song that we had, it wasn't supposed to it wasn't written for the competition.
Yeah.
So it's funny how like everything like comes in and everyone has their own story. So that's really nice.
Yeah. And also
Um
the favorite. Oh my gosh, me and names.
mm, oh like the
Elsie Bay.
yeah, Elsa. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen somewhere that she was a favorite.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we were out with her and her boyfriend at a jazz club just before Christmas. So so I know her as well, kind of,
Yeah,
and of course I've
yeah.
seen her up at the writing camp. Just remember
So
that now,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
Very
but that's the
lovely.
thing, like it's so small, and that I think that's why people who actually do it big in internationally as well, when you come home to Norway, people just like leave you alone and they don't try to like disturb you in that way. Like it's not like UK. It's more like a safe space, I feel.
Norway is
Not that I
very laid
know.
back like that, yeah.
Yeah.
People pretend they don't recognize you, which is
Yeah,
quite
that's
fun.
maybe that's worse.
I'd rather they come up and say, "Hey, good to
Yeah.
see you," but
Yeah.
sometimes you do want to be left alone. So I guess it's a good
True.
thing. Yeah.
True. Let me do one more question. I see that we've been talking for an hour, so
Oh
this
my
is
gosh,
really
time
this
flies. Sorry, I talk a lot.
I love that. I love that because I feel like sometimes you meet people that you have to kind of like drag things out of. You're just so passionate and you have so much experience. So for me this is Christmas. So I'm just happy I want to do this. Let me just so we keep the people happy. Um was Oh, this is a weird one. I don't know if I'm gonna take this. Uh, let me see. Okay, so what is your favorite? Okay, so this is really, can fans write for A1? That's a question.
If they can
Can so,
write for A1.
yeah, that's a question.
Oh, write music?
Yeah, write songs for you guys.
Well, to put it this way, it would have to be something spectacular for
Yeah.
us to, because we write our own songs.
Yeah, so
And
here he says, so what if he also wrote here, what if A1 has a songwriting contest for fans? That would be cool.
yeah, I mean, we'd love to. I encourage songwriting. I love songwriting is my main passion and first passion in life. So,
Yeah.
I'd encourage that. But I think as far as releasing music goes, I get songs every week from writing
Yeah.
teams, who want me to record their songs. And
Yeah.
sometimes I don't really have time to listen to all the stuff that gets sent through. I got to be honest about
No.
that. But it would take something very, very spectacular for us to write, for any artist to
Yeah.
record a song they didn't write if they are writers
Yeah.
themselves, because it's such a personal thing. You want your own music to be out there, and so it's not a, like, it's not a thing against people sending us songs, because we've done songs that we didn't write before. We did a cover of Take On Me, Aha's Take On Me, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a
But
good one.
yeah, but the majority of our songs we have written ourselves, and so
Yeah.
we are writers, and so we want to keep releasing our own songs.
Yeah.
But it's, never say never. If someone sent through the greatest song ever,
You would,
we
yeah,
would do it.
you
Yeah,
would,
of
yeah,
course.
yeah. There's also a question here. What can we expect from the new A1 album? Would the new songs be played on tour? Says.
Good question. So yes, we've been putting this on hold because we haven't been able to meet.
Yeah.
But we have started on it. Half the album is ready. So I can say this: it's a
Ooh,
very
nice.
versatile album. It's
Cool.
got, the fun. Like, we released one single, Spiders, a little while
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's kind of a
I saw that.
pop song, but there's
Yeah,
also
I
very
like that song.
organic, going a little bit back to the beginning, like if you remember a song called One More Try, which is like an acoustic kind of vibe. We have songs like that on the album. We have some, of
Nice.
course, big power ballads, and some really fun, entertaining up-tempo stuff. So, but we're gonna, just continue down the road of A1 does what A1 does, not
Yeah.
trying to reinvent the wheel or like trying to
Why would you?
stuff we're
Today, I
not.
feel like, yeah, and everyone is like, everything is all over the place today. So you don't really have to like stay in one genre. You can just do you.
Yeah.
A1 needs to come to Australia, someone says.
We do
They're
need to come
probably,
to Australia.
yeah.
It's been a while. I loved Australia when we were there. It's such a great
Oh,
place.
yeah,
And
I'm
I
gonna
love it that
say that too. I
Australia
would love
watches.
to go.
Yeah. I love it that Australia's in Eurovision, or watch it.
I know. It's so cool.
Or as far away from Europe as you can get, but they still
Yeah,
love it. It's great.
I agree. Okay, should we do like one more question?
Yeah.
Do you have, I don't know how much time you have, but um, so let's see, because I have some from Twitter here as well.
Let me do 3 more questions.
3 more questions?
3 more questions, and then we have
Okay.
at least. Yeah.
Okay, so based on musical taste, someone asked, what's your top 3 favorites in MGP this year? I feel
Top
like
3.
everyone is trying to be really like cautious in what you say, just because.
It is a difficult one. There are a lot of
Yeah,
great
I
songs
know.
this year, and a lot of good people.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not saying this just because you're here with me, but you are one of my favorites, and you got such a great
Thank you.
voice, and I think your song is really strong. It's kind of,
Thank you.
it so could be. You probably heard this already. The James Bond references. It
Yeah.
could be in a Bond movie, which I love. I wrote that
Thank
song
you.
for Rein Alexander last year, which also was
Right.
Bond inspired.
That had a Bondesque team. I love that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so I think you really have a strong chance, and I
Thank
think
you.
I think LC Bay has a strong chance. She's been played so much on there. It's kind of unfair that NRK, A-listed some of these songs.
Yeah.
Because it really gives you an advantage. Because when you hear that song, it's like, oh, I've heard it every day on the radio.
Of course. And also, like, these people, like, there's some people may not know, but some people also are like signed to labels. So they have like these playlisting things, and there is like a lot of advantage. But the thing is that I've actually learned, because I came into this I released it on my own.
Yeah.
But the thing is that you don't really know, because I've seen like the odds and the polls, and everyone is streaming a lot of stuff. But when you see what people vote like on the Saturdays, it's just like, what? Everything, it just doesn't add up to what everyone thinks.
So
And that's what I love.
people will vote for the song they like the best on that
night. Yeah.
So
I agree.
I think we all have a chance.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the Wolf song. It's really fun. I mean, it's a ridiculous song, ridiculous
I love
lyrics.
it. Yep.
But
That's why it's good,
Yeah, but it's so catchy. It's very, very good.
It is.
Good good fun song. It's a bit like that Israeli song, that one with it. It's that kind
Yes,
of
that
outrageous.
girl. I agree. What's it? Tessa? Messa? No, something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
can't
Yeah.
remember, but anyway,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah,
Okay, so a third one. Oh, it's so hard now because there's so many good ones.
I
I'll
know.
disappoint someone.
Yeah, you can say someone else
No,
in
I did
another
say
one.
three now, didn't I? I did say
Didn't you?
three. Yeah.
You did. Yeah, you did say three, so you don't have to
Oh,
say
there
one
you
more.
go.
There you go.
I ran out of. Yeah.
Farida come to Malaysia with A1.
Hey, that would be
I
fun,
will be
right?
their I will be their tour guide, even if they don't want me as a musician. I'm there.
We'd be happy if you were to support us, but
I would love to. I would love
you'd
to.
have to
Now
pay your
put
own way out there.
I don't care. I'm gonna get people in Norway to pay for that. I need a scholarship. I'm going to Malaysia.
Yes.
Thank you for writing something really nice. Taking away to meet you in the night of the. Thank you, Mandy. That's so nice of you. Um, Let me see. Someone says it gives you a better chance to develop your brand as an artist and getting to know the fans. So in a way, it's a positive. Then you get to go through the semifinals, etc. Yeah, that's true. I mean, for me, as I get that. Like for Norway, I'm a new artist. So for me, going through the semifinals, I haven't really thought about like the difference. Like people are participating, like going directly through because I knew that from the beginning. Like you know what you say yes to. So for me, it was kind of just to answer that question, that sentence quick. It was a great feeling to be able to showcase myself, even though I feel like it was some of the worst like performances I've had, but it's gonna be better in the finals.
Ah,
Um, yeah, it was like a lot of things. Like I'm not used to the in-air stuff, so I've been like I don't sing this pitchy. Like what's happening? So I've been really like working with that like 3 hours a day now and figuring out how to solve that thing. Anyways, I do feel like it feels really good to go through the semifinals as an unknown artist, just because I feel like I've proven something to myself, but also to like the people who voted. So for me, it's like coming to the final. It's just fun. I don't really have any expectations. I just feel like I did what I want. I wasn't. I really just wanted to go through the first duel, not even the. That was like my goal, at least the first one. But yeah, so that was cool.
well, now that you've had five A-listed songs on the radio on P3, and
Yeah.
you've gone mainstream kind of with the the broad audience of all the age groups with MGP, you've already
Mm,
won in so many ways because
thank
your
you.
name is now uh, you know branded as one of those
Yeah.
artists who everyone knows about, and so
Yeah.
that's a great thing to get out of this. And
True.
of course, winning would be a great bonus. Let me ask you, how would you feel, and what would you do if you got to
I would
represent
die.
Norway?
I would die. Like it's funny because I know I've gotten like a lot of people like on Twitter um giving me like this reaction video from when I was on the semifinals because I didn't think I was gonna win. So I look like this like somebody shot my dog, you know? So I'm like, oh, like that. So I imagine like that times four if that or 10 if that happens because I'm really this person that I really want to like go one step at a time. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm not really a fan of competitions. So to me, it's more like I'm here now. So just like do your best show. Everyone is going to like concentrate on doing their best show as well. So I feel like just do that. And as long as I'm happy with my performance, I'm going to be happy.
That's all you can
Yeah.
do. I mean, that's like an
Yeah.
athlete thinks that way.
True.
You
Yes.
compete
Yeah.
against yourself. You can't control the opponents.
No, you
The
can't.
only thing you can do is do your best so that you perform at the peak level of your abilities
Yeah.
on the day. And if you do
Yeah.
that, that's all you can do. There's nothing
Mm.
else to it. And I think if we have um, that mindset when we get there, I think we're
Yeah.
going to enjoy it more and we're going to have fun. It's like that's all. I was really really happy when I got off stage because I had such a sore throat, not a sore throat, but my voice hasn't been there.
You
I
sounded
had
so good.
Thank you. Well, I
Yeah.
hadn't been able to hit those high notes
Mm.
since November when I recorded the song,
Ooh.
and
Wow.
my voice was going. I've been doing like needles and
Acupuncturist?
acupuncture
Yeah.
stuff. I was on um, what do you call it? Tablets to remove
Yeah.
Swelling. I had vocal
Swelling.
coach. I did everything,
Wow.
and the day of the semifinal, when I managed to sing the song. I
Yeah.
was just so relieved and happy. That was it. I mean, that's. I didn't care what everyone else said. I was really really happy, and
That's the thing.
yeah. And now I can only do better, right, in the
Yeah.
final because I've had a few weeks to rest my voice and make
Yeah.
sure it's back. So,
Mm.
and it feels strong now. It feels good. So I just gotta stay healthy,
Yeah.
and not be quarantined. That's what we gotta focus on,
That's
I
what
guess.
we're aiming for.
What are
Yeah.
you
I'm
gonna do
high.
for? What are you? How are you gonna stay out of Corona way the next few
I,
weeks?
I am really isolating. Like,
Yeah.
and also I live at Fornebu, so I'm like I don't live far from the H3. I also
Oh, nice.
worked here. Like I've cleaned and vacuumed and put out like all these like confetti stuff that happens when it's The Voice or MGP. I've like been that person who's been cleaning that stuff. So I think it's so funny to be here.
Oh, cool.
Right now I'm in the studio as well. So we have a studio in the Flight Tower, which is like right next to,
Oh, I
yeah.
was wondering who had that studio now.
Yeah, so we don't have the top, but we
Okay.
have like the I think it's the third floor. The
Okay,
top is
cool.
just like a art place now. It does not nothing really happens there.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we really want it though. It looks amazing. But yeah, so to me it's kind of I'm trying to have that like homey feeling, not to get like nervous and stuff. But I think just like wearing a mask. I mean, people are the community is opening up now, but I'm just gonna still be wearing a mask everywhere I go and just yeah, be very careful because the worst thing that could happen is getting COVID like 3 days before, so you won't get out of yeah,
I feel so
no.
sorry for the athletes in the Olympics
Mm-hmm.
who, come so far, and they've
Yeah,
worked for like 4 years or their whole
I
lives for
know.
that moment. And so
And
we've only known about this for like a year at max.
yeah,
So
exactly.
it's when you compare it like that, it's not that big a deal, but it is for us, and it's a big deal. So we want to be healthy, and I'm going to do the same.
Yeah.
From next week, I'll be pretty much, only the absolutely necessary trips out. I'm gonna be working out right
Yeah.
here in front of the
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
bought
me
those
too.
little, what do you call it, stick, rubber band
Yeah, rubber
workout
bands.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
and my
really
yoga
good.
mat.
Yes, awesome. And that's good though because I feel like there's something about also like having that discipline to be in your own space and like doing your workouts and like what you got to do, meditate, whatever. And I think everyone has their own like way to yeah. I mean, I am rehearsing every day with my voice because I don't know why I went into the competition with such a difficult song to sing, but I'm going very low and very high. So yeah, I should have thought about that before. But
It's sounding
I
great.
love a challenge. So
Yeah, and that's what makes it, like. And when you nail it, that's how you're going to impress people when it's impressive.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah,
I mean, we've been really picking it out now, so it's starting to build that confidence, and I feel like the thing is like if you have it in the bag so well that even when you're nervous you're still gonna do it quite good, you know, so
yeah,
that's kind of my goal, like even if I suck I'm gonna do better the next time. So yeah, no, it's
that's everything you can really
yeah. Oh,
control. So your best. Thank you so much for having me on
exactly.
this my very first live Instagram thing, and
So good.
it's a pleasure getting to know you more, and I can't wait to see you on the
Likewise.
19th.
The 19th
I
is
think,
gonna be so good. Thank
yeah,
you so
yeah,
much for wanting to join me. Like this is such a dream come true for me. I watched you guys and I'm so excited about this. So yeah, I'm so excited about the finals and hopefully I'm so happy we get an audience. I'm so happy about that.
yeah.
It's gonna be so good.
That's
So
going to be
yeah,
amazing.
hopefully a party afterwards. I wouldn't really care if I got COVID. after that.
I think
Then
we're
we
all
just,
thinking that.
yeah, let's just
Unless you
celebrate.
win, and then you have to, be ready to
Yeah,
record something on that Sunday and Monday.
true, true. But you could do it though if it's a light version. You could
Yeah,
just like, yeah. But yeah,
yeah, it'll be fine. We'll party.
yeah. We'll party.
Yeah,
Amazing, Christian. Thank you so much. Someone says please do another one soon.
thank
Maybe
you.
we'll do another one later after the finals.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a
Take
good
care.
night. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.